every time you do.
Has blocking always been something you think you've excelled at, or has that been something that you've really worked on and tried to develop here at Georgia?
To be honest, I feel like that's an attitude play. Like it's all about your attitude. Like if you got the attitude, then you can go in there and hit somebody. Then that's what you're gonna do. If you don't got that attitude, then you're not gonna do it. So that's something I've always had growing up playing football. Had an attitude. I like to play physical. So it's part of my attitude, my play style.
How much does your time at St. Thomas Aquinas, obviously one of the best programs in Florida, how much do you think that experience helped prepare you for coming to a place like Georgia where you win a national championship last year?
My experience at St. Thomas, I've been there for all 4 years of my high school career. The system there was very similar. It wasn't exactly the same, but it was very similar to the system here. So I feel like St. Thomas really prepared me for the college experience, or like how it would be up here in college, especially here at Georgia, because our practices in high school was almost like the same here. So it was an easy transition once I got up here. So I feel like that really helped me transition when I got up here, and then made the transition real smooth.
Several times when Brock Bowers has scored, he's referenced blocks that Marcus made. Can you just talk about when that call is for Brock, and does like a extra light come on for you, knowing that if I get this block, we're going house here?
I mean, yeah, and at the same time, it's just if they call the play and I know I had it, I know my assignment on that play. I'm gonna try to execute my assignment to the full ability, no matter who has the ball. It'll be Brock, Lad, whoever has the ball on that play. My job is to block the man in front of me. So that's what I
assume it doesn't surprise you when you see 19 running free down the field.
It'll really surprise me. I know if I make just one block, I'll be able to spring it forward, then it's a foot race from there.
How often does his speed kind of surprise you on practice or games? Like the other day, he outran Angle on that guy here.
At this point, we're used to the speed. Like we done seen it so many times, but he's a different breed. He's a different creature, like real deal. It's amazing to watch.
What's your best route with Stetson Bennett? We're in the huddle, like Stetson, throw me this. What are you gonna tell him to throw?
I feel like there's not no one specific route that I
have a favorite?
Whatever route's called, I run the route. And if I'm open, I'm open. If I'm not, I'm not.
What did you learn from Coach McClendon?
Coach, I learned a lot from Coach McClendon. He's a great guy, he's a great coach. One thing he did tell me, he taught the receiver quote. It's like being able to play the football that the brand of football that you know how to play. Like if you're a physical receiver, be physical. If you're a finesse receiver, be a finesse receiver. Like just playing your type of football, your brand of football. That's one thing I learned while he's been here at UGA.
How much bigger did George Pickens catch you over there?
I done seen George make those type of catches in practice here all the time. So when he made that catch in that game, I was like, dang, there he go again. There he go again.
How much you guys itching to hit some more deep balls? And I know that you guys have tried some, but haven't always come up with them. How much is that part of adding to this offense?
Explosive. Us being able to hit explosive plays is like one of the key components to winning football games. So every week we trying to find better ways to hit explosives and give us the best opportunity to win. So wherever is that whether throwing the ball down the field or handing off on jet sweeps and getting long runs, it don't matter what it is, whatever it is that we can do to get those explosive plays to win the game.
Marcus, how close were you to making that catch on that third of the end zone?
I don't want to talk about that catch. I couldn't have made the play, but I was out of bounds and I dropped the ball. It's done, but it's over, it's through with. That was that week. We on to the next week, getting ready for Missouri. We're gonna go into the meetings today, watch some film on them, and see what this week have up against for us.
I don't know how many targets you had in the last game, but it seemed like it was a good number. How does it feel to kind of be targeted by Stetson? You've gone through a lot of injuries, and now you seem to be an important part of this offense.
At the same time, I feel like the targets, all that don't really matter. It's about the game plan that we have in play for each week. Whatever the game plan is, that's the game plan we're going to try to execute. And that's how we're going to try to execute the full capacity that we can, and kind of try to come up with a victory. So I'm not really worried about no targets or how many targets I get, or this and that.
We saw after kind of a rough start for Ladd on Saturday, he came back. I think he wound up having the most receiving yards of the team. What does that say about Ladd? The way, it started off rough, but it seemed like he shook it off and went back to work.
Yeah, Ladd had a little bit of adversity in the beginning of the game, but he's a great player. I feel like every great player that faces adversity always finds a way to overcome adversity, and he showed that this weekend. He had a couple great catches, great plays. He was still able to push through and finish the game well, strong for us.
Was that a situation where someone that's going to come up and talk to him after something like that, or just kind of?
I was right there the whole time. At every mistake, I was right there, keeping his head up, making sure that his confidence don't drop. Because I know, especially a receiver, once your confidence drops and you out there on perimeter, it's hard to play. It's hard to play the game. You always have to have a good career. You always have to have confidence. So I was just there trying to make sure his confidence was still up, and he was able to still go out there and play well.
How much growth have you seen from some of the younger receivers?
Excuse me?
How much growth have you seen from the younger receivers in terms of just like execution of the playbook in their conferences?
Each week, I feel like each week as we go on throughout the season, the confidence the young receivers continue to build. So as they get more experience in playing and more experience in practicing and stuff like that. So and as they get more familiar with the playbook, so each week I got to see the confidence definitely building. They're getting a lot more confident in themselves and their ability to play.
Do you want Monken
Let's
to
take
draw
about
you
two
up the
more,
jet?
please. Two more.
Do you want Monken to draw you up the jet this week, kind of like Brock did? Or?
If he draws it up for me, he does. If he don't, I'm not mad about it. Just here to play football.
Why did you switch from 81 to number 1? And do you ever get people telling you look like George Pickens, or you're still kind of trying to live up to that?
No, I'm not trying to live up. I just wanted to change my numbers. That's all. I just wanted to change my numbers. There wasn't no reason to it. But I ain't never had nobody say I look like George or anything like that. But yeah.
Anybody else?
What do you think about Jackson Meeks?